What's up, you guys? It's your boy Squints here with another episode of A Man and His Podcast. A very special guest, a very special episode, 6 years in the making. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Marko Stunt. I am not very big. Yeah. I,
So,
no, I'm glad to be here, man. Thank you for having me. This is I haven't done many interviews in a long time.
yeah,
So
yeah. I was gonna say with your retirement announcement, have you been like flooded with people asking you to be on their shows?
yeah, more than normal for sure. Yeah. I've had quite a few. I've had a couple handfuls hit me up so far, and gonna try to work out as much as I can, get as many done as I can. I've never been one that's like, oh, I don't want to talk to this person. Like I'll talk to you. I don't mind. I
Yeah,
like talking. So,
yeah. Like I said, this episode or this podcast, I don't ask the basics of, oh, why'd you start wrestling? What's your first memory and all that. Uh, with us being live, I will say if anybody in the chat wants to ask questions, go ahead, ask questions, leave comments. I like to have everyone be as interactive as possible. Uh, but first and foremost, when did you find out you had to retire? Like, when did you start getting the feeling of it having to become a reality?
um, so realistically, this last week, last week I found out that officially, I guess. Uh, but it's been something that like in the back of my head, I kind of figured was coming sometime soon because I'm in a lot of pain all the time. Um, I took a lot of big bumps, and took a toll on me. And I knew it would come eventually. I just didn't know how soon. I was actually planning and getting ready for another run in 2025. I was going to try to make 2025 a good year, and then I was going to see how I felt after that. Um, I did take a not so great bump in my last match, um, and it hurt. I've got bruises from it still, uh, but I I'm looking at the comments too. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say
but
all the comments are flooding in.
but I did take a bad bump, and I didn't think that was gonna do anything. I've hit like that before, and it felt like a normal thing, and it was, but it did not help at all what was going on. Um, I ended up going to the doctor, and they did a bunch of diagnostic tests and stuff, and found my hip has rotated inwards, and it's causing my tailbone to be shifted off to the side, and it's causing a whole bunch of problems. And they they're gonna try to work on me and stuff, but if I were to continue, it could possibly paralyze me. And I got a family now, and I got a daughter. I'm married. Not everybody knows that, but the last I was out of the realm for like 3 years, and in those 3 years, a lot in my life changed. I got a daughter now. It's amazing, and I have to think about that. I want to be able to play with her as she's growing up, and I want to be able to go teach her to ride a bike, or push her on a swing set and it not ache every time, or throw her up in the air. Because she's getting to where I can do that now, and she loves it. And but it hurts a little bit, and I want to, as much as I can, stay away from that. And as much as I love wrestling has been the biggest part of my life for so long, so long. I mean, I couldn't tell you a time where I wasn't a wrestling fan. I've always been a wrestling fan. I grew up watching wrestling with my dad. Um, so I'm legitimately heartbroken. This has been the toughest decision I've ever had to make. But it was also a necessary one. And that doesn't mean that I give up wrestling. I'm done with wrestling now. I still plan to stay. around, stay involved in some aspect, and we'll see how that goes.
Absolutely. Let me read off these comments real quick. They are flooding in. Sam says, waving emojis. Hi, Sam. Robbie VD. They say Marco with sad faces. Certainly exists, says Squint's making us Missouri boys proud. Thank you. And then Sam also says family man Marco. And then James,
Yeah.
my little brother, he asks, do you have a funny Jack Perry moment that you can remember?
Oh man. So my favorite thing was always trying to make him break. I want to see. I love to see Jack break when he was doing the Jungle Boy character and Luchasaurus. So a lot of the stuff that happened was not actually filmed or anything, so people won't see it. It's the blooper takes of all the backstage stuff we did. But it was. Let me think of the funniest. Let's. Well. Let me come back to that one. Let me think of that one because I wanna give you a good one, not just some random
No,
thing.
definitely.
Yeah.
My favorite is I seen a BTE clip of Luchasaurus cutting a promo, and Jack's just sitting there, and I can just tell Jack's trying his best not to laugh, and he's just like hiding his face.
Yes, that happened. That happened quite often. I will tell you, there is a clip out that I saw somebody posted. After I made the post of my retirement, somebody posted the clip. I don't even know where it's from, but I brought up how I did a sunset flip and I in my pants everywhere. It just shot out. I caca everywhere, man. But I didn't know it. I didn't know it. Somehow I didn't know I had doo-dooed in my pants after I wrestled. Um, and I was walking around. I was like, man, this place stinks. I was like, dude, this place smells terrible. This it's from BTE. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm like, this smells terrible. And I get to the back, and I go to take off my gear, and I feel something squish. And I'm like, oh no, oh no. And so I pull my tights down. I'm like, and I see it. I'm like, oh no. What is not in the BTE clip, I don't think. Well, you can see Jack trying to stay in character, and that is a funny moment of him trying to stay in character. That's one of the ones I was talking about for sure. But what I didn't say, I'll finish that story because I don't think I finished it there. What happened is I went to go to the bathroom to change. Went to go to the bathroom to change. Somebody was in the bathroom, and the bathroom. So there's a little hallway. I mean, I could stick my arms up as big as I am and touch the walls, right? Um, well, on this side's the bathroom, and on this side is where they're doing the interviews. And I walked by at the perfect time, and they're like, "Oh, we just wrapped this up. Marko, come do this bit with us real quick." And I'm like, "They're gonna know that I shit my pants." I'm like, "They're gonna know." I'm like, "It stinks." So I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna show you. I was like waddling through. I was, but trying to make it not super obvious. And that was but that I ended up getting changed, and I got it all cleaned up, and I threw those tights out, and it was great.
That is hilarious. Sam says the world would benefit 100 times over from manager Marco on a big stage. Sam says LOL is from BTE. And then Sam also says LMAO with quite a few O's. James also asks, he said, even being in AEW, did you watch WWE and was there any tribalism inside the locker room?
Not really. I mean, especially at the beginning, dude, it was the best environment. I mean, everybody was getting along. I mean, I'm talking like very beginning, very very beginning of Dynamite and everything. The locker room was incredible, incredible. Um, I mean, I think the talent was great, but behind the scenes, everybody got along. It was amazing. And the thing is, we have friends in the WWE. Like we have friends there. So we're going to root on our friends no matter what. And well, most of us are. Not everybody will, but most of us will, you know, and they do the same over there. Yes, there is tribalism. There always will be. Um I didn't get involved in it. I didn't see the point. Uh but I will tell you, early on, it was nothing like that. It was an amazing locker room. I think about it many times. How I wish I could just go back to that locker room. Not even necessarily wrestling, but being able to go on the road with these people and hang out with these people that became my friends and my family. Um, and obviously, when I say family, you picture the Jurassic Express, you picture the vlog crew, maybe. Um, those were my core groups. But I mean, in the beginning, everybody hung out with everybody. We all hung out together after the shows, before the shows, and definitely a lot of it has to do. I think had to do with the like that honeymoon feeling. You know, like we're brand new. This is fresh. This is fun. We're living. Excuse me, that Baja Blast trying to come back up. Uh, but we're living our dream. We're having fun. Um, so yeah, that time period was morally, like morale wise, I guess. Didn't say morally. I don't know if morally is the right word there. Morale wise is it was amazing. Like I would love to go back to that.
So you mentioned you have AEW has friends in the WWE locker room and vice versa. What was your reaction when Seth Rollins posted a GIF of you on Road to Mania?
I I screenshotted it and sent it to all my friends. I was like, "Did you see this?" I'm a little Mark, bro. Uh, dude, I'm a big fan of Seth Rollins. I will gladly say that, and he didn't have to do that at all. He didn't have to do that at all, and I appreciate him a lot for that. That was cool. It was a cool little moment.
No,
But it was
that
perfect timing. It was perfect timing because they just said I was or I don't know if it'd come out or something that I had just gotten, like my contract didn't get renewed or whatever. But it was perfect timing because it was like the day after he posted that because it was when Cody was coming back. Everybody, I assume I didn't know, but I knew it was Cody. Come on. Um, but could you imagine if they played a joke and like I came out and he beat me in like a second? I'm just dream booking here. Curb stomp, 1, 2, 3. I'll do it, and then Cody comes out, boom, boom, wrestling. Has you know? Anyways, I'm a Mark. I told you. See, uh,
that would be crazy. What would your WrestleMania theme be? If say at the time they come up to you and they're like, "Hey Marco, we want to use you for this." What you just said, you get to choose your theme song. What theme are you using to walk out at
the
WrestleMania?
one I the one I've used my whole indie career. "We Belong" by Pat Benatar.
Ooh, ooh.
That song.
Well, do you know if
I
there was any talks
of
of them
that.
trying to get that, trying to no, getting that song in AEW?
Oh no, no, not that I was aware of.
Yeah.
Hey Bree, my parents are great. I will tell them you said hello.
Sam also asks, "What is Marco's Taco Bell order?" That is the real scoop I was looking for. Marco Stunt's Taco Bell order.
Uh, 3 Doritos Locos Tacos combo, no lettuce, um, with 3 extra soft tacos with no lettuce, and a Baja Blast drink, mild sauce as well.
Okay, okay. So, what are your
It
top?
used to be.
Oh,
Oh, I was gonna
go
say it
on.
used to be when they had them. The double decker tacos. I used to love those with the refried beans and stuff.
While we're on the topic of food, what is your top three fast food restaurants?
Oh my gosh. Because I don't like lettuce, Sam. Anyways, or vegetables in general, but we don't have to talk about that right now. I would have to say, because I never get it, In and Out. If I love going to Texas and California just to get In and Out. I would pay a plane ticket there and back in the same day just to get In and Out. And no, I wouldn't pay that. But In and Out. Um, it used to be Chick-fil-A, but that's kind of, I don't know, the quality of it here has gone down. Or maybe in general. I think I'm done growing, Robbie. I don't think there's any hope for that. And then I really want to say Wendy's because I like their fries a lot and a Baconator. And there's no vegetables on the Baconator. It's even better. But I really also I like. You guys have
We
Crystal
have White
Burgers?
Castle. I
I
have White
can't stand
Castles.
White Castle. I hate White Castle, but I love Crystal Burgers. I don't know. It's just like a different taste. I'm a weirdo. Everybody, it's usually It's usually backwards.
Isn't Crystals also just sliders?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They
That's
do.
what I thought.
Does Why did I just go blank? White
Missouri?
Castle. They do, no. Does White Castle? Well, yeah. I guess Missouri too. Does White Castle do the like chicken sliders as well?
I think so. Or they do like a chicken ring slider. I know they
Okay,
do that.
that's right. Yeah. Okay, I couldn't remember. Crystal has the chicken sliders, and they're so good.
What's your
And they used.
favorite? What was it?
I was gonna say they used to. They got rid of them, and I'm really angry about it. I tweeted at them, and they told me to just keep messaging them if we want it back. But their corn dogs were so good. They were like mini corn dogs, but bigger than a mini corn dog. And dude, I could eat like 30 of them, and not really, maybe like 3, but they were so good.
So, this is kind of going off topic. I was watching other interviews just to collect notes for this one, and you did an interview with Chris Van Vliet like right after the first episode of Dynamite, and you said that you got carded at Wendy's. What's
Yeah,
the story behind that?
I did. I got carded at Wendy's. So me and my brother, we're going through. It's like spring break or something. Something. It's some. They're out of school for a week, right? Granted, I had been out of school 3 years at this point, and I did not look like it. Obviously, I still get questioned. But we were going through. We got a Frosty. And she looks at me. She's like, takes her card. She's like, "You boys glad to be out of school for the week?" I'm like, "Well, I've been out for 3 years, but I'm enjoying it." And she's like, and she just gave me this look. She's like, "How old are you?" And I told her, and she's like, "I don't believe you." And she took my she like pulled my Frosty back and set it down. She's like, "I'm gonna need to see your ID before you get that Frosty." I'm like, and I just was like, she was obviously messing around, but I was like, okay. So I pulled out my ID and I showed it to her, and she started laughing. She's like, "You sure are." And I got my Frosty, and I still go to that. I still go to that Wendy's.
So, have you ever been carded in any other like weird
Bars
circumstances like
anytime.
that? Bars, I can imagine you get carded almost all the time.
Yeah. No, what were you saying? What'd you say?
Like in any other non-alcohol purchasing situation, if that makes sense.
No, not that I can think of. Not that I can think of, but
Have you ever not been carded at a bar?
yes, I have.
Really?
Only recently though. Like the first time happened this year, so it's not like it's brand new to me. And it's only happened twice. And I think it's because they already knew me. But
All right, all right. So before we got on here, you said that tonight you were gonna watch a movie. I need to know
Yes.
what is Marco Stunt's movie night looking like? What kind of movie are you looking for? And is there a
We
favorite like comfort movie you have?
a comfort movie, Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump, my favorite movie of all time. I've seen it so many times. I got a giant poster of it. These are my dad's posters, or else there is one up there. There's a small one up there of Forrest Gump. You can see it right there.
Oh, okay.
But I have a large one like this, in mine, in mine. But Forrest Gump is my comfort movie. We're gonna watch Holes tonight. Uh,
Ooh.
yeah, Holes is goat tier. Um, I'm tired of this grandpa. That's too damn bad. Um, goat line. But no, that's what we're gonna watch tonight. My top three favorite movies. I don't even put Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump has its like own thing in my mind, so I don't use that. I have a separate top three, and then there's Forrest Gump. So I like to say that. Um, why am I going blank? Shawshank Redemption is one of them.
Okay.
Shawshank Redemption. I love um what's that? Why am I going blank? That's because it's not the right movie. But Rise of the Planet of the Apes, the first one out of the like quadruple that they have. I love that movie. I think the story to it is incredible, and I love monkeys. I have this um tattoo. It's the gorilla tattoo. Um, and then number three would have to be The Matrix.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how I was going blank. I was like, I know I have a favorite, but it's specifically the this last Matrix and the first one. I guess they're equal in my book, but this last one I thought was great. I thought the way they did it with he's now a game developer, and the Matrix is now his game that he made, and he's made all these games, and I don't know. I loved the way they did it. If you haven't seen it, I recommend going and watching all of the Matrixes. They're incredible. And then also, right, all the Planet of the Apes, the newer ones. I've never watched the older ones, so
I'm going to read off some comments real quick. They are piling in. As always, guys, if you have any comments, leave them and I'll read them off on air. Sam Sullivan says, how did you enjoy Janela Get So Tight?
so I guess that first GCW show that I did, it was right after that we I don't know, dude. He took me in like a little brother, almost immediately, and started taking care of me immediately. Like I was going everywhere with him. I was on all their shows, and he was making sure I was taken care of. Like in the locker rooms and stuff. Like he was big brother in me, and I love him for it. And like he is, and consider him like a big brother to me. Um, but that first night, he gave me that love that line that I gave to KTB. He's the one that gave me that. That was a Joey Janela line. Um, you can go look it up on my GCW debut. I don't.
Lost in New York, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was Lost in New York. Such a good show, man. Top to bottom, that show is insane. Sandman, Sabu, man, this is such a good show. But no, I got to come in out of the crowd, and he gave me that line. Crowd went crazy for it. I was like, huh, it worked, because I came from around the South. They don't say those types of things. It's a little different up there, and I was new to it, but I grew accustomed. But they no, we after that we were texting and like about plans and stuff, and then obviously AEW came up, and we stuck together. Um, we we went into this together basically. We at one point, me, him, and Jungle Boy were the. I'll tell you this: the first episode of Dynamite in Washington D.C. We were walking around D.C. for a couple hours looking at everything. Excuse me. And I remember we were joking around and we were like, man, we're the game changers, you know, because we all came from Game Changer Wrestling. Um, that's who helped us. That's who made us basically. And so we were the game changers for a little bit, in our own heads, you know. Uh, but Joey and I have always been tight. I still talk to him uh, pretty frequently. It's not every day, but I don't know if I talk to anybody every day other than my family. Um, but we keep in touch a lot. Jungle Boy and I keep in touch. Luchasaurus and I keep in touch. But yeah, Joey and I have been tight since the very beginning. Me going up there.
So this is going to backtrack a little bit to your retirement. If it was up to you, who would your like quote unquote retirement match been against? Like if you could choose who your final match was, who would it be and why?
So, you ever heard of a guy named Jackson Crowley?
I think so. It sounds very very familiar.
He does a creepy gimmick. He's in this tag team right now called the Twins of Salem. Uh, they're around my area. They're around the Memphis area.
Okay.
So Jackson Crowley. I went to my first independent show around here, and he was a few years in, and he was the one that stuck out to me. I remember him specifically, and then fast forward a few years, I want to get into wrestling. We go to the show, and we ask for training. They train us a little bit. Um, that sounded rude. Uh, they started us in training, and I eventually started to ref. And the first match I got to ref was his match against another guy, and he was one. He's so incredibly good, so incredibly good. Um, he he was there. He came to Dynamite when we were in Atlanta doing the tapings in COVID. He came with me then. But I've had my best matches with him. My best matches with him, and I will say that forever. Well, best singles matches with him. I've had my best singles matches with him. Um, I would love to have one more and go out with him. Because it's kind of a. It may not mean a whole bunch to all of my fans because they may not all know who he is, but he means the world to me. He helped me and pushed for me when he didn't have to when I was first starting in this business. And he gave me tips galore and made sure I was taken care of. He was my big brother before Joey took over.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. Definitely. So this next segment I'm going to do, it's just going to be I'm going to name off people within wrestling, and just rapid fire one word or one sentence on your opinion of them, or just you know what I'm saying. First person being Brett Lauderdale, promoter of GCW.
Brett is one of the most talented promoters I've ever met in my life.
Next person being Luchasaurus.
I could help you out a lot, buddy. You're not. I mean, hey, think about it. We'll talk later if you watch this, anyways. But no, I love Luchasaurus. He is a protector. He was always a protector in AEW for me. He looked out for me, and any sort of reunion I can have with him, I would love to have, even if it's just hanging out with him at the house one day. Like he's my friend.
How did it feel when you had that match against Jack Perry, and then that night Luchasaurus was doing like a backstage segment, and you walked past him? Like, how did it feel to get like that one last moment was Jack, and that one last moment was Luchasaurus in a sense?
So that night was very special to me. I could have just gone and hung out, and I would have been fine. But I got to go, and I got to wrestle Jack. I got to hang out with him and Luchasaurus in the back, and I got to see so many other friends, and that made it all worth it. Just me being able to see them and get around that, and have that sense of like, man, these are my friends again. Like being around my friends again was an incredible feeling. And doing that little segment, what some people may not know is Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus pushed for that. They just did it. They just did it. And then once we filmed it, they were like, hey, we're going to take the camera crew and we're going to go film this and we're going to make them post it. Is what they said to me. So that's how that thing aired. That we filmed it for fun and it ended up working out. So they've always looked out for me. They were my biggest supporters every time I wrestled. They were always hyping me up, making me feel better than I probably should have, even if I had not the best match. They were hyping me up. Like that's what Jurassic Express was. Also, is we were just one big hype crew for each other. Is what it ended up being.
No, definitely, definitely. When did you find out that you were going to be wrestling Jack that night? Like, was it just like bang bang?
I found out at 1 p.m. and I was at the venue at 2 p.m.
Oh yeah, it was in. It was right by you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 25 minutes, probably 20 minutes, maybe.
Okay, no, that was like one of my favorite like surprises I've seen in a while. Like I was scrolling through Twitter and it was like I was just seeing everyone say Marko with question marks, and I was like, "What happened to Marko? Well, why are we saying his name?" And then I seen the clip of you coming out, and I was like, "Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up."
Dude, it was a blast. I was very grateful that Tony allowed me to come do that again. It was fun.
Is that who idea it was? Was it Tony's idea to have you come back for that?
I think it was a mix of him and Jack. I think it was a big mix of him and Jack. I think Jack sparked the idea, but I think Tony ran with it. Is usually
Yeah.
goes.
So another question about Luchasaurus. Me and my brother, we just finished. Forgot what season it is, but Big Brother. We just finished a season of Big Brother with Luchasaurus. Did people talk about Big Brother to Luchasaurus like often, or was that like did he talk about it, or is that just something in his past?
He only talked about it if we brought it up, and I only brought it up a couple times because I like to hear the little dramas behind the scenes stories because you get to hear those when you're with him. And so I enjoyed listening to those, and he loves to talk. And so it was fun to hear him ramble about this show, and I loved it. But yes, everywhere we went, every meet and greet we did, somebody would bring up Big Brother, and he'd be like, and his response would be like, "Yep, yep, yep, that was me."
So
He did not like it.
were you trying to get like behind the scenes scoops on Big Brother and how it works?
Mm-mm. Well, yes, but no. I was just asking, like, what did he go through? Like, what did he do? What was it like? Um, and he'd tell me all these stories, and I'm not going to give any away.
No.
I'll let him do that one day. But
No.
they're good. They're good. They're insane, but they're good.
I've heard stories from other cast members about Big Brother behind the scenes and stuff like that, and his season's pretty drama filled, so I can only imagine the stuff he has to say. I hope he. We need to convince him to do like a Big Brother podcast where he just sits there and he just rambles about it. He should do like a Conrad Thompson podcast where they watch episodes one by
Oh
one.
my gosh, that'd be insane. I've never watched Big Brother.
I've only seen 2 seasons. I forgot what other season, but then the one that Luchasaurus was on because Luchasaurus is on it. I was like, I need to see this.
I didn't even watch that one. I'm a good friend.
Season 17.
Good friend.
Season 17, you should watch it. It's a great season.
I will. Yeah, my mom was into it for a while. She watched it. So she watched it before I was even friends with him. So
Oh, that's funny.
yeah.
So this next question I ask is, before we wrap it up, if you had one piece of advice, what would it be? And it doesn't have to be related to professional wrestling, just any piece of advice for anything at all.
Put me on the spot here, huh? I'm just kidding. Let me tell you, if you love something, if you have a desire to be good at something, then don't let something stand in the way of that. Because I could have done that. I had people tell me for years that it wasn't worth it because I would never make it at my size. I would never make it with how I look and everything. And here we are. Uh, but so, like, don't listen to that because the internet's not 100% real. The internet's not 100% real. It's a little real. It's pretty real, but it's not real in the sense that a lot of people are just who they think people want them to be on the internet rather than who they actually are on the internet. And so you have to take it with a grain of salt, because if I listened to everybody that said don't even try it, oh, you should quit now, I wouldn't be here. So we wouldn't be having this interview right now.
Awesome. And then one last thing before we wrap it up, is there anything that you want to plug?
Yeah, I would love to. I run my own wrestling promotion now. That is what I aspire to put my creativity into right now. Going forward, we have a bunch of shows booked into the next year as well. We're going to be doing a monthly show. We are called Pro Wrestling Adrenaline. You can find us on Twitter at PW Adrenaline, and on Instagram we are at PW Adrenaline MS. So you can find us on there. Our next show is December. Our next show is November the 15th. That is in less than 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks at our brand new venue. It is our premiere event in our new venue. So I'm super excited about it. It is going to be called Pass the Gravy. It's going to be called Pass the Gravy, and I'm super excited. Tickets are on sale right now. You can get them at pwadrenaline.com, and you can also get your PWA merch there as well.
Awesome. And then any last questions from the viewers? If you have them, go ahead and leave them any comments, questions, all of that before we wrap this up. Thank you everybody for commenting. This was really fun having everyone comment.
Dude, this is fun. I like the answering from the comments. It's different. I don't normally do these live, so
Yeah, I just started doing them live this year because it gets the audience more involved, I feel like.
yeah. No, this is fun. I enjoy this a lot. Thank you a ton for having me on and let me do this, man.
No problem. Last call for questions. I'm giving you guys 30 more seconds before we wrap this up. I feel like now we're just kind of sitting in silence.
All right, I got you.
Any new songs on the way?
All right, any more? Any new songs on the way? Yes. Yes.
I completely forgot to ask this question. I always forget. Bort Sampson says, "Once I'm disappointed in you." Marco, if you can wrestle anyone from Jersey Shore, who would it be? That's not the question I ask. I ask if you could tag team with anyone, who would it be?
Tag team
But
with anyone from the Jersey Shore?
anyone from Jersey Shore. Let's say Tony Khan calls you up. He's like, Marco, I need you and a partner of your choosing from Jersey Shore to face the Young Bucks. Who are you choosing? And don't say Snooki because she had a WrestleMania match. They all have. Let's say they all have the same.
No, I need somebody bigger than me. So anybody else will do. A drunk Sammy.
Okay, yeah,
A drunk
that
Sammy.
is a fantastic question.
That is mad. That is mad at her boyfriend. He said
Ronnie,
the wrong thing. Ronnie. I don't know why I blanked on his name. I was gonna choose Ronnie, but I think Sammy's a little more dangerous.
A drunk Sammy after Ronnie pisses her off and
Yes.
Marco's gone versus the Young Bucks.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't even have to tag in. I would. I just like, hey, you know what? You start. Get him. Remember what Ronnie said? Get him. Okay, and this is how it would end.
And then Robbie asks, "What animal would Marco be?" ...
Elliot. That's a good question. A baby kangaroo.
A joey? That's what they are. That's what they're called, a joey.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think a baby kangaroo is called a joey. That or I look like an idiot and I'm just saying stuff. But I'm pretty sure a baby kangaroo is called a joey.
Yeah, I'll be a joey.
All right, everyone. Thank you for leaving comments. Sorry, Bort, for not asking the patented Jersey Shore question. It slipped my mind. We were talking about crystals and White Castles and Big Brother. I'm sorry. That was the last thing. I was thinking of a different reality show, brother. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Marco, for coming on. 6 years in the making. What? Thanks for the show, you guys. Super fun. Thank you. As always, leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down. 1 star, 5 stars. Like, comment, subscribe if you want. If not, I don't care. And